Here in Uttarakhand, study a Vedanta, they have a system. If you go to Kailash, other Vedanta schools, or the traditional, where the monks and pandits will study. So it's all free, open. The Acharya will be sitting and teaching a text. Anybody can come and sit and listen. You can come anytime, you can leave anytime, not in the middle of the class. But halfway through also you can leave. There is no control over who is listening and not listening. So they will speak like this. वो महात्मा कहाँ गए? Suddenly one Mahatma was coming and attending class, suddenly he is not there. So the expression is, आसन उठा लिया. Picked up his asana, that means he is gone. He may come 5 years later, 10 years later, they will never come again. That's the condition. Asana is silent. Today Niruji is in asana. Right, 3 o'clock. Okay. But we'll have to start. We have some ground to cover. Yes. So this session will be 3 to 4 hours. 3 is it? 4.
बोल देता हूँ
ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 ओम leaders from the unreal to the real, leaders from darkness unto light, leaders from death to immortality. Om peace, peace. So in this session, we'll go directly to the text and not do the meditation. And then we'll have 10 minutes of Q&A. We were on verse number 20. 20 चेत्योपरागरूपाणि साक्षितापि न तात्विकी उपलक्षणमेवेयम् निस्तरङ्गचिदम्बुधेः. Even my witnesshood, which is dependent on connection to mental activity, is not real, but only an assumption in this waveless ocean of consciousness alone. So now he is slowly removing all the conceptual framework which he had built up. Earlier, he worked so hard, author, to show us not the body and not the mind. I am that which is experiencing world, body, mind. I am consciousness. I am the witness of all this. But that also now is removing, because if you leave that in place, it means that there is a witness and a witness. That there is a relationship of witnessing. You are the consciousness. The moment you say you are the witness consciousness, you are assuming or you are implying that there is something to be witnessed. And there is a relationship between you. This is dualism. This is not Advaita. However, this is not true. What is true? Remember the wall painting analogy example. On the same wall painting, you might say the one man is looking at, say, a flower. Or, say, now one man is looking at a mountain. We might say, here is conscious person, consciousness through that mind and body of that person, experiencing non-conscious object. Consciousness experiencing an object. Chetana experiencing jhana. And this Chetana is the witness consciousness, and that is the object jhana. But truly what is going on there? It is a painting. And both of them are painted on the same surface of the wall. The mountain is actually an appearance of that wall, and that man who is walking the mountain is an appearance of the wall. In our own case, what do we mean when we say Chaitanya? Actually, practically, what we mean is what Vedantins call reflected consciousness. We really don't understand your consciousness as such. Right now when I say I am a conscious being, come. Right now we say I am a conscious being. This is a not unconscious or not conscious state. I am Chetana. You understand the word Chetana and Jada? No? Chetana means conscious. It's sentient. And Jada means insentient. For example, I am sentient and this table is insentient. What do I mean by that actually? I can see, I can hear, smell, taste, touch. I can think, I can feel pain, I can feel pleasure. The table can't do anything. No conscious sign of consciousness there. Lot of kinds of consciousness here. But this is what is called in Vedanta reflected consciousness. Consciousness shining through the mind and the senses and active. Again, like moonlight, sunlight. When we mean consciousness, it's like we're talking about moonlight. We're not talking about the sunlight. Really speaking, there is one limitless ocean of consciousness which is appearing as the so-called insentient table and appearing as the so-called sentient jiva. Consciousness projecting itself as mind, reflected in the mind, as reflected consciousness becomes a jiva, sentient being. Consciousness appearing as name and form of a table becomes an insentient jada vastu. And now the jiva says, I am conscious, that is not conscious. This distinction, the jiva, this distinction we set up. And we set up a relationship, witness and witnessed. I take it even further. Not only this table is jada, my body is jada because it is an object of my experience. The prana is jada, mind is jada, intellect is jada, even the anandamaya kosha is jada. Which we did in one of the verses. Not the body, not the indriya, not the mind, not the prana. Jada, I am Chetana. This distinction we did. This distinction is only for purpose of teaching. What is being taught there? I am pure consciousness. Once I realize myself as pure consciousness, next we will see what I said. I am not this body, not this prana, not this mind. This prana, mind, they are also paintings on the same wall of consciousness. They are also nothing other than the same consciousness. I alone appear as Jadavastu and Chetanavastu. So-called Jadavastu, so-called Chetanavastu. I'm reminded of Holy Mother, Sarada. I think it was a lady in the village home in Jailambati who was sweeping the courtyard. After she finished sweeping, she tossed the broomstick aside. Mother said, okay, what is that, my child? Even that has its own dignity. And she picked it up and kept it carefully one place. Now, it might just be a good best practices we say. Yes, best practices. But I think it's more than that. From an Advaitic perspective, she recognizes what I am and what this devotee child is, that house, that courtyard, that broomstick also is that. It's divinity appearing in all, divinity in every speck of dust. So, this distinction between Chetana and Jada, and saying that I am Sakshi, witness consciousness, this is called Upalakshana. Secondary, it's not the truth, not the final truth, not Tattviki, it's not Tattva. Tattva means ultimate truth, final truth. Reality, it's not reality. Why? What is it then? Upalakshanam eva yam. Yam sakshita, this witnesshood is upalakshana. Secondary, not primary. Upalakshana is like, which cottage are you staying in? You see that where the crow is sitting? I am staying in that cottage. You see where the crow is sitting? Now, the crow is not a part of the cottage. The crow is just sitting there incidentally right now. But I have used the crow to indicate the cottage. Next moment, crow will fly away. Not that always on my cottage one crow will be sitting. I've used that. In Vedanta, this is called tatastha lakshana. Incidental characteristic. A definition or pointing out something by some incidental characteristic, not essential. Sakshita, witnessing, is not an essential characteristic of pure consciousness. We are just using it as a teaching technique to point out pure consciousness to you, which you are. Now when you realize that pure consciousness, whether witness or not witness, you are the only reality which appears as the so-called witness and the witnessed object. Pure consciousness by itself is not a witness of anything. Because in what sense? There is no real thing to witness apart from pure consciousness. Witness means I am there as the witness and something else is there for me to witness. But if everything is pure consciousness, then that which you are witnessing is also you only. It's not different from you. One limitless ocean of consciousness appears as the object, so-called non-conscious object, and as the so-called conscious observer. It appears as the so-called object and the so-called witness. But underlying it is one limitless ocean of consciousness, of existence consciousness. He says, it is a secondary way of pointing out, upalakshana neva. Pointing out what? Nistaranga chidambudhe. Waveless ocean of consciousness. Chit, consciousness. Ambudhi, this is ocean. And that is waveless ocean. Nistaranga. What do you mean by waveless ocean? Same consciousness here has become ocean of consciousness is breaking out into waves. They are all waves. These chairs and tables are waves. That mountain is a tsunami wave. Is it like that? No. These are not. It has not become waves. It is a waveless ocean of consciousness. These are only appearing. It's not actually that they have become waves. Not that consciousness has done something, has become disturbed into waves and taking all these forms. Ashtavakra, the three verses which are very beautiful, using the ocean metaphor. So I'll just recite them and see. So there the highest truth is taught. There is none of that witness consciousness, just that waveless ocean of consciousness. So it starts like this. Mayananta mahambode. Mayananta mahambode Vishwapota itastatah Brahmati swantavatena Namamastya sahishnuta. In me, the limitless ocean of existence, of consciousness. What is this world? It's like a boat, Vishwapota. It's like a boat. You are the ocean, and the world is the boat. We often, poets will say, the world is like an ocean, I am the little boat sailing on the ocean. Ashtavakra reverses that. You are the ocean in which the universe is a little boat. Your whole samsara, your life, is like a little boat. What is it doing? Brahmati, itastaka. It moves here and there. Success, failure, birth, aging, death. India, America, past, present, future. Itastaka, it's moving around. And why is it moving around in this way? Swantavate. It has an internal logic, an internal wind. Normally a boat wind moves because the wind drives it. But it is antavata, an internal wind. What is the internal wind? Karma, causality. Causality, there is a logic to it. Why things are happening to that little boat. In samsara, why things are going in this way, there is a logic. And the logic is causality, karma. But he says it will be entirely internal to that little boat. You, the ocean, have nothing to do with karma, nor with the boat. What is your attitude as the ocean to the boat? Nameyastya sahishnuta. Namamastya sahishnuta. I have no impatience. I am not impatient with it. What is your attitude to the little boat of samsara, this little life? We think life is so vast and difficult. No. You are vast. Life is small. What is your attitude to this little boat of life? Namamastya sahishnuta. I am not asahishnu. I am not intolerant. I am not impatient. Great spiritual practice. Shojjha. Forbear. Sri Ramakrishna said, Shaw. It's a play on words. It works only in Bengali. Because Bengalis have an atrocious pronunciation. The three sha, sha. Bengalis will pronounce it all as the same sha. So now Sri Ramakrishna makes a pun on that. Sha, deshai, sherai, denashai, tamnashai. जो in Hindi it will be जो सहता है वो रहता है, जो ना सहे उसका नाश होए. So you put up with it. Don't be impatient. Don't be intolerant. Don't be upset. How can I not be? The word is very irritating. Word is very troubling. No, it is a small boat. You are the ocean. Why should the ocean be upset? Ocean is not even upset if it's Titanic. What will it be upset with a little boat? Your samsara is a little boat compared to you. You are an ocean. This is just, Ashtavakra says, preliminary understanding. More advanced understanding. Mayananta Mahambodhi Vishwavichi Swabhavata Udetu Vastamayatu Name Vriddhi Namakshati. In me, the limitless ocean of existence, consciousness, the entire universe, not a boat, is like a wave, Vishwavichi. It's like a wave. See, boat is a little different from the ocean. Boat is not the ocean. Ocean is not the boat. Now the universe, samsara, has been compared to a wave. Wave is certainly the ocean. You alone are appearing as one wave. One wave. What is that one wave? In the vast ocean, it's your samsara. Vishwavichi. Swabhavata, by its own nature, not even saying karma. By your own nature, you are projecting yourself as one wave. Actually, wave has come up here. Then what? What is your attitude? Udetu vastamayatu name vriddhi namakshati. I, the ocean, am not increased when the wave comes up. Same amount of water is there. So you are not increased when the wave comes up. When the wave diminishes, you are not decreased thereby. Name vriddhi namakshati. Let birth come, I am not increased thereby. Let youth come, health come, success come, money come, education come, relationships, popularity, power. I am not increased one little bit thereby. I am the same ocean. Udetu astamayatu. Let age come, deterioration come, failure come, I am forgotten, nobody cares about me. Other people are smarter than me, richer than me, more popular than me. World is going ahead without me. Excellent. Goodbye. Name Kshati. I am not lost. I am not diminished even one little bit by that. The ocean is the same ocean. Name Vriddhi Namakshati. This is intermediate understanding. There is more advanced understanding than this. Ashtavakra says, Mai Ananta Mahambodhi Vishwam Nama Vikalpana Ati Shanto Nirakaro Etat Evahamastitaha. In me, the vast ocean of existence consciousness, I am waveless. He's talking about waveless ocean. Then what is this universe? If it's not a boat, not a wave, nothing has happened. Vishwam Nama Vikalpana, it is mere imagination, mere fantasy, mere delusion. Then what is reality? Eta Devahamastita, thus alone I exist. Ati Shanto Nirakara. Peaceful, serene, beyond all disturbance, and entirely formless. I exist. This is Nistarangatinam Buddhi. The phrase which Lakshmidhar Kavi used, waveless ocean of consciousness. So start with the word, you are the ocean, the word is a little thing, like a boat. Then next go to the level, you are the ocean, word is you only, you have come up as this samsara. Next, you are the ocean, word has not even come up. It's not even like a wave, it's like an imagination, like a dream. So you are, the reality is you and you remain as you always did. Nothing has happened there. So these are three levels of understanding. The boat example, life is like a small boat floating in a huge ocean. I am reminded of Sashi Maharaj, Swami Ramakrishnananda. So, Sister Devamata, an American lady who came from the United States to India and spent some time in India, different centers, especially in Chennai, in Madras at that time, and met a number of direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, including Shashi Maharaj, Raja Maharaj, Mahapurush, and others. she was the head of the Cohasset ashram, Paramanandaji's ashram near New York. She was there. Anyway, she has written a book about her days in India. So she says, I spoke to Swami Ramakrishnanji, who told me about his struggles, how he struggled to set up the mutt in Mylapore, in Chennai, Madras. His hard struggles, really such hard struggles he had to undergo. And she says, Sister Devamata says, I felt indignant that such a holy man, why does he have to suffer so much? And felt bad for him. When I told him that, he was surprised. He said, what are you saying? My real life is infinite, eternal. This little life, let Thakur play with it as he wants. There's nothing. Let it go in the service of Thakur. As he wants, let him play. His words say, let him play with it as he wants. Let the Lord do with it as he wants. And then we go on to the next one. The next one is really a masterpiece of poetry. अमृताब्धेर्न मे जीर्णे अमृताब्धेर्न मे जीर्णे मृषालिन्दीरजन्मभिः मृषालिन्दीरजन्मभिः स्फटिकाग्रेर्न मे रागः स्फटिकाग्रेर्न मे रागः स्वाप्नसन्ध्याभ्रविभ्रमैः स्वाप्नसन्ध्याभ्रविभ्रमैः. When false waves rise in me, the ocean of immortality, there is no loss. When the dream-like evening clouds of delusion gather around me, the mountain of crystal, they color me not. What? Let his poetic imagination run wide here. Two examples just given. Ocean example, crystal mountain example. Now let's see why we did the mountain meditation in the morning. First, ocean example. First one, ocean example, stands for tat, that. Next one, crystal example, stands for tvam, you. The first one, ocean example, stands for sat, being. The next one, crystal example, stands for chit, consciousness. Now we'll see. Amritabde name jirni vishadindi rajanmabhi. The language also is a little unusual, the ordinary Sanskrit which we use. Amritabde. The ocean of immortality. What is that ocean of immortality? You are. And show me the ocean of immortality. I will jump in and become immortal. If you are, you accept the ocean of immortality. I want to drink the Amrita and become immortal. Why do you need to become immortal? You are immortal. All immortality is derived from you. In the ocean of immortality, it is not disturbed at all. When the waves come up and the waves disappear. See, a real ocean is not increased nor decreased. Jirni here means decay, decrease, hard, less. Jirna, worn out. When waves come up in the ocean, is the ocean decreased thereby? Does it decay thereby? No. The quantity of water, the same ocean remains the same. Whether it is turbulent or peaceful. Now imagine how much more the ocean will be unaffected if the waves are false waves, illusion, not real waves. Mrishad indeed, illusory waves. Like we saw in the third shloka from Ashtavakra. Nistara, waveless ocean. The universe is a kalpana, is an imagination. So, the Mrisha Dindir, the false waves. What are the false waves? Illusory waves? Samsara, Jagat. When they arise, birth, life, death, rebirth, so-called these things are they're actually not happening. They appear. They will not disturb me. They will not reduce me. They will not cause decay or lessening in me. The limitless ocean of immortality. I, the immortal ocean, do not become mortal because of this appearance, not even a real samsara, appearance. And the example works at two levels. One is, ocean by itself is not increased or decreased by the waves, any ocean. And then, certainly not by false waves. False means appearance of waves. The ocean will not be disturbed by appearance of waves. So Nami Jeevni, Risha Dindi Vajanmati. So samsara, the appearance of samsara has not affected you in the least. You are perfectly fine as that ocean of immortality. That's why you see earlier he said the moksha, he called it the dreams, delusions of moksha. Well, why do you need immortality? You are the ocean of immortality. The next one is even more beautiful. You have to imagine the picture is drawing for us. Spratikadri, the mountain. So there is a mountain, but the mountain is not made of rock like this. The mountain, imagine this mountain is made of crystal, completely transparent. Completely transparent. In transparent crystal mountain, what will happen? The colors of the sky and the earth and the greenery, everything will be reflected there. It will look blue from the blue sky, green from the forest. All the time, not being blue, not being green. If I have a crystal here, I hold it, and then I put a blue book behind it, the crystal will look blue. If I put a red flower behind it, crystal will look red. It did not become blue, did not become red. It was not blue earlier. When I hold this book, still is not blue, it looks blue. When I remove the book, does not look blue and is not blue. Similarly, you put a red flower, Rakta Spatika, that means red flower near a transparent crystal. To you it will look as if the crystal has become colored red. But before the red flower came, it was not red. When the red flower is there, it seems red, but it is not red. When the red flower is removed, it neither seems red nor is red. Similarly, he says here, this crystal mountain, it seems to be colored. And look at how he's bringing in the colors. Swapna Sandhya Abhra. By the evening clouds. So what happens is, you can see, especially in the high mountains, here also you can see, snow reflects light wonderfully in many different ways. So high, I've seen snow peaks in Gangotri. Where I was sitting there was no snow, but high up in the peaks there was snow. So sunlight during sunset, wonderful display of color. One peak is shining that way, another peak is shining that way. Sometimes I would see sunlight blazing on one peak, and the other peak is covered by cloud and rain is falling on that peak. Anyway, but those are rocks and snow. Suppose it's made of crystal. Then the clouds which are reflecting light, golden, pink, red, at the time of sunset, Sandhya Abhra. The clouds, though that color will appear in the crystal mountain. The mountain will appear golden, red, pink. And he says, Name Raga. There is actually no coloring in the crystal mountain, even when the colors are appearing. And then he adds one more layer to the poetry. Swapna Abhra Vidhrame. These are not even real clouds. They are clouds of dream and delusion. Now, what is he comparing it to? He is comparing it to this limitless consciousness I am. This limitless consciousness that you are, Aham Asmi Sada Bhami. This one is like the mountain, crystal mountain. And this display of samsara, body, mind, other people, worries, activities, the history of life and civilization, all of those are Sandhya Brahmi. Sandhya Brahma are evening clouds, not even real clouds, clouds of delusion and dream. They appear to color the crystal, but they do not color it at all. Similarly, it appears that in me, the limitless ocean of consciousness, it appears that there is a body and there is a life which I have, there is a world which I inhabit, and now I am interacting in this world. I have become this body and I am interacting with other people, I am leading this life, It will be over after some time, and there is a whole world around me with its own history, tragedies, problems, what not is going on in this world. All are evening clouds of delusion and dream. What is there actually? What is it? All of it right now and forever is a limitless ocean of consciousness. Crystal mountain. Now, how you meditate on this is when you sit like a mountain. And imagine the mountain is crystal. You are the crystal mountain. And in you, the crystal mountain, appears a body. People forget that I am the crystal mountain and, identify with this world appearance. First identify with mind, then with body mind, and then with the world. And interact with the world. But if you know that you are the crystal mountain, then all the colors which are appearing in the crystal mountain, even while seeing the colors, you will know for sure crystal mountain has not been colored. Name raga. Raga is coloring. Name raga. You have not been colored by it. Even while experiencing samsara, you will know it is only pure consciousness, Brahman. That samsara is not, it's an appearance, Brahman alone is. Or another way, samsara, whatever you see, whoever you see, whatever is going on, every bit of it is Brahman. Just like you see the pink, red, golden colors in the crystal mountain, and you will see, while seeing the pink, you will say it is colorless. It is transparent crystal. While seeing the golden color, it is colorless, it is transparent crystal. Here, while seeing good and bad, struggles, ups and downs in life, it is limitless Brahman only. It is, or devotee will say, it is my beloved Govinda, Gopala, my Krishna, my Ramakrishna. You are all is yours. This is devotee's attitude. And Jnani says, all is this limitless existence, consciousness, space. I am that. Either say, Ashtavakrya says this, and Swami Virajanandaji was fond of it. He used to repeat this. Either say, I am none of this, none of it is mine. Or I am all of this, all this is I alone. He says the word along with the body is presented to me, the consciousness. So say either none of it is I or all of it is I. Otherwise what happens is I limit myself to this body. Then the rest of it is other. Then the real game begins. And the reality which is underlying, the reality which is consciousness, every underlying also gives you a sensation as if this is on top and underlying something is there. No, there is no top and bottom. All of it is through and through one consciousness. That one is hidden from us completely. Being hidden from us, we take this body and the other people and this world to be the only game that there is, and we play this game. This is called samsara. The door to freedom is right here. So this is a wonderful meditation. Spatika, this is a crystal mountain meditation. And what is samsara? Swapna sandhya abhra vibrami. What language is that? Not even the evening colors, but not even real evening colors. Colors of a dream evening. A evening dreamt. Only in your fantasy and dream you dreamt something. Life is like that. Even if you see in a small way, if you look back, especially if you have led an eventful life, if you look back 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, see, whatever is in your memory, first of all it fades away slowly. All the things, even the greatest of happenings, best happenings, most traumatic happenings, slowly loses color and definition and fades away. Second, it looks like imagination, like a story. Like a story. Dream and waking, they seem so different. This one is waking, it seems very, very real. Dream seems insubstantial, not real. But now compare dream and memory. Your memory of where you live, people you met, what all you did 25 years ago. And a dream that you had last night. The last night's dream will seem more vivid than that memory. You see, that was real. and they seem equally unreal, floating. And after all, what is memory? It's just 1 second in the past. This one in the past is already memory. Okay, now let us move on. Next question. Now these are very subtle questions. Next 3 verses. Satchidananda. That also is going to not dismantle, investigate. The opponent comes and the critic, the opponent comes and says, all right, I understand everything, but just tell me. Ultimately, you are saying you are this ocean of Satchidananda, the existence, consciousness, bliss. So Atman is existence, consciousness, bliss. That is what you are saying. So if you say that, then Brahman is existence, consciousness, bliss, and then Atman will be Brahman. So Atman is existence, consciousness, bliss. So this existence, consciousness, bliss, Satchit Ananda, are they properties of the Atman? Is Sat, existence, a property of the Atman? Or not? Now, this is a dangerous question. Why? If you say yes, then Atman will have a property, it will become Saguna. So, alright, what's the harm? But Brahman is defined as Nirguna. Then your Saguna Atman cannot be Nirguna Brahman, hence you are not Brahman. You follow? Property means like table is the substance. This is Nyaya terminology. That's why this Nyaya Vaisheshika terminology is important. Table is substance, Dravya. Its properties are, it is hard, it is brown, it is like a cube, being of the shape of a cube, being of the color brown, being of the texture hard. These are properties of table. What is the Dravya, the substance, the thing, the Dravya, the substance is table. And its characteristics, properties are being hard, being brown, being cube, like a cube in shape. Similarly, I am asking you now, tell me, Sat, you keep saying Atman is Satchidananda, Satchidananda. This Sat, existence, this existence is property of the Atman or not? If you say it's property of the Atman, then Atman has property. What does it mean to say existence is the property of something? It means this is again Nyaya Vaisheshika terminology. Things which exist have what is called a universal property or samanya, satta, existence. All of them. If you don't have that property, you don't exist. This is the way we understand it. The universal property of satta, that makes things existent. This is how we understand existence. So you must have existence as a property in order to be existent. Now, does Atman have this as a property? If you have it as a property, then you are a property holder. Not in the sense of land, but property holder. Dravya. Atma becomes a Dravya substance and it has a property. In that case, it cannot be Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman, according to Upanishads and Vedanta, is supposed to be without property. Nirguna. Your Atman has become Saguna. You say, no, it's not a property. Oh, if it does not have the property of existence, it becomes non-existent. Your Atma, it does not have, does it have the property of existence or does it not? If you say it does not have, existence is not the property of Atma. In that case, Atma is non-existent. Anything that does not have the property of Satta, the universal existence qualifier, let us say. That is how we will put it. That will not be existing. If a thing does not have the quality of being brown, then it will not have the color brown. It will not be a brown table. If it does not have the property of existence, then it will not be an existent table. It becomes non-existent. Atma does not have the property of existence. Then it is non-existent. It has the property of existence, then it has a property, it becomes Saguna, it cannot be Brahman, hence you are not Brahman. How will you answer? So answer is, as Vivekananda said, it's not that the Atman exists, it is existence itself. It's its very nature. It's not the property of the Atman. It's the very nature of the Atman, existence. He says, Swarupameva me sattvam natu dharmo nabhastvavat. Did we do this? Did we chant? Oh. Swarupameva me sattvam Swarupameva me sattvam natu dharma nabhastvavat Natu dharma nabhastvavat Madanyasya sato bhavat Madanyasya sato bhavat Nahi satyatirishhyate Nahi satyatirishhyate. As spaceness is the nature of space, so existence is nothing but my own nature, not a quality of mine. Existence is not considered a classification as there is no existence other than me. Okay, what is he saying here? First of all, existence is not Sat is not a property of Atma. Then why do we keep saying Satchidananda? Sat is the Atma. Gold is not a property of gold. Gold is the substance itself, is the reality itself. Therefore you cannot say existence is the property of the Atma. Then he goes on to say, attack the very premise of this attack. So the Advaitin counter-attacks. He says that, see, your very way of thinking, that substances have their properties. And so, to exist, everything should have existence as a property. This is called jati. How you can classify things. In Nyaya Vaisheshika, a cow is the member of a class of animals called cows. And they all share. So how do you become a member of that set of cows? You share the property gotva. This is called jati or universal. Philosophical name is universal. Human beings, we are all human beings. How? On what basis are you saying that we are all human beings? The Nayayika will say you are all human beings because you have the quality humanity. All human beings have the quality humanity. All cows have the quality cowness. Therefore, they can be included in the set of cows. Human beings have the quality humanity. Therefore, you are fit to be included in the set of humans. Like this, they will say, so, table. Every table has the quality tableness. Therefore, any entity which has the quality tableness can be called a table. Book. Any entity which has the quality bookness is fit to be called a book. And see, it's an interesting concept because we think nowadays, book need not be like this paper book. It can be e-book. It can be just software. It need not be tangible object also. But it has the quality book, bookness. Therefore, even e-book is book. It is so different from this. But yet that is book. So, quality of bookness is shared by all books. Quality of cowness is shared by all cows. Quality of humanity is shared by all human beings. This is how Nayayikas or Vaisheshikas think. That is their system. Dravya guna, substance and quality. Then what about existence? According to them, existence is the highest jati, the greatest generalization. All human beings. You have divided the world into human beings and non-human beings. All living beings, that includes human beings and all other non-human beings also. But you have divided it into living and non-living. The greatest generalization is all existent beings. Then you have not left anything out. But you have left out non-existent, but non-existent does not exist. You have not left it out. So if you include everything, then it is the set of all existent beings. So what is the quality they all share? Existence. So existence is a quality, is a universal according to the Nyaya Vaisheshika school. We say universal is called Satta. In order to exist, you must have this quality. We all exist because we have Satta, existence as our quality.
How is the Satta spelled?
Satta?
Toto, Toy, Buffalo. No, Buffalo.
Not Satya. Satta, toy.
Toi toi.
Double ta
Just
and a. Satta. Sat, satta. So, now the Advaitin is attacking this way of thinking. Saying you cannot do this for existence. You can do this for cows and human beings and tables and books, but existence is not. It is not a property. Existence is not a property. Like skyness. So existence is not a property. Why? Because to be a property, to be a universal jati, like cowness, humanity and all that, you must have many members of that species. And so cowness is one thing, but it is shared in many members. It is found in all the members. Then only you can say it is a jati, it is a samanya, it's a universal. You must have many members. The set must not be only one single member. Like sky. Now you can say skyness, nabha means sky. What does it mean? Even if you have many spaces, you can have big pot, small pot, rooms, halls, all of them are enclosing space. And then you say all these little spaces, they all have the quality of spaceness. That is not a correct way of thinking. Even the Nyaya Vaisheshikas will say it doesn't work. Because space is actually one and undivided. You can't divide space and then you say all these are members of the set of spaces. No. This physical space is one and undivided space. So, nabhastva, spaceness, is just space itself. It is just the nature of space itself. It is not a universal or a jati. Because there aren't many spaces, even if it appears that there are many spaces. Now the argument is, existence is like that. It's not that there are many existences, and then you will have one property called existence, what will you call it? Satta. Existenceness. I mean, inventing new words. Satta. You cannot do that, because existence is one. It's like a one undivided ocean. It's like one undivided space. Spaceness just means space, not just property of space. Similarly, existence does not have a property called satta, existenceness or something. Existence is, that's the very nature of it, being. So, it follows existence is not a property. Therefore, your question itself is wrong. Then what is Sat? Sat is the very nature of the Atman, not a property of the Atman. Because after all, existence is not a property. This is so long ago. Shankaracharya also argues this. Only in the early 20th century, in Western philosophy, this issue arose in Bertrand Russell's theory of descriptions. He showed logically, follow this very beautiful explanation. Existence is not a property. He showed it logically. When you describe something, certain thing as a property, table is brown. Table is brown. So we are saying table is something which has the property of being brown. How will you write it? You will write in Bertrand Russell's language. There exists X such that X is a table and it is brown. Brown in color. It is brown. There exists X such that X is a table and X is brown. King of France. How will you describe? There exists X such that X is the king and he is the king of France. Now suppose you say the table has the property of existence. How will you write it? There exists X such that X is a table and it exists. You're repeating it again. If you make brown a property, color, it's a property. And you can write it very logically. There exists X such that X is a table and it's brown. Understandable. But if you make, instead of brown, if you say the table, existence is a property of the table, how will you write it? in Bertrand Russell's logical description. There exists X such that X is a table and it exists. Doesn't it sound odd?
Yeah, repetition.
It becomes even more clear when you deny existence. You say, you can deny a property. There exists, the table is not pink. The table is not pink. You can easily write it in Bertrand Russell's language. There exists X such that X is a table and it is not pink. But if you make existence a property and you say table does not exist, table does not have the property of existence, how will you write it? There exists X such that X is a table and it does not exist. You're contradicting yourself.
Yes, yes.
Why? Because actually existence is not a property. Existence is taken for granted, then you add properties to it. Advaita says that. The reality is existence. And all other things, if we say existing things, they are names and forms. They are names and forms superimposed on reality. So, we might say, table exists, chair exists, table exists, Swami exists. This is our way of thinking, speaking. Advaita will say, existence chairs, existence tables, existence Swamis. Existence is appearing as chair, table and Swami. What are you? I think I am Swami. Advaita is telling me, no, you are not Swami, you are existence. So existence is not a property. Existence is the very nature. That's why Vivekananda said, it's not that the Atman exists, it is existence itself. If you say Atman exists, it becomes one more thing among many things. Catalog of existing things, chair, table, inventory you have to do. Chair, table, light, ceiling, unused construction material, tree, land, and Atma. Or and existence, per se. No. Existence is not one more item. It is the reality of all items. We will now, we still have some time. Okay, next topic. Next attack is on consciousness. Sat Chit Ananda. Now the opponent says, oh, I see, existence is very nature. But you said Chit, Atman is consciousness. Again and again you are saying. Normally the way we say Chit, when we use the word consciousness, is I am conscious, he is conscious, he is unconscious, like this, like a property. So is consciousness a property of the Atma? If it becomes a property again, Atma will become Saguna. Brahman is Nirguna, therefore it cannot be Brahman. If Atma, if consciousness is not a property of the Atma, then Atma will become Jada, non-conscious. Let us see the reply. What is consciousness? Is it a property of Atma? Swarupameva me jnanam. Swarupameva me jnanam. Naguna sadguno yavi. Naguna sadguno yavi. Anatmatvam asatvam va. Anatmatvam asatvam va. Jaya jayattvayopate. Jaya jayattvayopate. Knowledge is my own nature, indeed, not a quality. If a quality, then the self becomes knowable and therefore is non-self. If unknowable, self becomes non-existent. Very nice. Master of philosophical Jiu-Jitsu. What he does is, so, is consciousness a quality of the Atma? No. As Swami Vivekananda said, consciousness is not, it's not that the Atman is conscious, it is consciousness itself. Not that Atman is, or the self is, has knowledge, it is knowledge itself. What is knowledge itself? Consciousness. So you are Chaitanya, not that you are conscious. We normally say that, yeah, I understand, I have consciousness. I have consciousness, like a property. Or I am conscious. Nothing great you are telling me, Vedanta, because I know I am conscious. I am conscious. Look at the word you are using. I am conscious. Then I and conscious are different. I am that, it is the property of consciousness. No, Vedanta is saying, you are consciousness. You are Chaitanya. Then he says, Yadi Guna. Supposing, let us admit your position. Which is called playing the devil's advocate. Let's see what will happen. Assume that consciousness is my quality. I am Atma. Atma has consciousness. When Atma is the substance, consciousness is the quality. What does consciousness do? It knows. It knows. Consciousness will know. Will become aware of something. So consciousness is the quality of Atma. Then will consciousness become aware of Atma?
Yes.
Consciousness can know. So if it will know the Atma, if it knows the Atma, then Atma becomes an object. Atma becomes an object. Self becomes not self. Self becomes not self. Not nonsense, not self. Atma becomes anatma. If Atma becomes knowable, what is knowable? I am the subject and I know all objects. Knowable means object. If Atma becomes knowable, then Atma becomes an object. Objects are by nature not the subject, other than the subject. Atma means subject. When the subject will become the object, Atma will become anatma. He says, anatmatvam, it will become anatma. Atma will become anatma. Ridiculous. Then the opponent says, no. A consciousness will know everything, but it will not know the Atma. Then if Atma is unknown, even worse, it becomes non-existent, because we have already said, if something is completely unknown, unknowable, can never be an object of knowledge, why speak of it at all? Then the self, which we have said is the most indubitable, cannot be doubted at all. I know that I am. That will become unknown and therefore non-existent. He says, anatmatvam asatvam va. Anatmatvam va asatvam va. Asatvam non-existent. Atma will become non-existent or Atma will become anatma. Both are completely unacceptable. Ridiculous. If you, just by making, opponent, if you make the consciousness the quality of Atma, you see disaster. Every philosophy will collapse. You worry about yourself, don't worry about Advaita. You will collapse. Whichever philosophy you uphold. Which philosophy is ridiculous enough to say self is not self? Or self is non-existent? Both are completely unacceptable. So, quality. Consciousness cannot be quality of Atma. Then, Swarupameva. It is the very nature of Atma. As Vivekananda said, it is consciousness itself. Not that it is conscious. It is consciousness itself. Atma is consciousness itself. You are consciousness itself. Therefore, you are Brahman. Then the next one. Okay. The Sukha, it will take some time to explain. Same thing again. At least the opponent will say that Ananda then therefore is a quality of Atma, you are saying. Satchidananda. That at least you have to accept. He said, no. It is not my quality. I am happiness. Vivekananda says exactly this. It's not that the Atma is happy. It is happiness itself. He uses the word joy. It's not that the Atma is joyful. It is joy itself. What does joy itself mean? We will see. It is the Swarupa of Atma. Alright, we have time for a couple of questions before we go for tea. You have made good progress. Yes.
How do we distinguish between Atma, consciousness and Brahman? Is it all implying the same?
Advaita Vedanta is the same.
Same. Atma, Brahman.
Atman is Brahman, is consciousness, is being, existence, is Ananda, bliss. Sat is equal to Chit, is equal to Ananda, is equal to Atma, is equal to Brahman. But the words are used because, then why different words are used? They are approaching from different angles. From the point of view of existence, it will be, you say Sat. From the point of view of awareness, you say Chit. From the point of view of fulfillment, goal of life, purpose, point, joy, you say Ananda. Another way of putting it is that we say Sat to point out clearly that it's not that the Atma does not exist, it exists, that's why we say Sat, negatively. It's not that the Atma is unconscious, that's why we say Chit. It's not that the Atma is Nirananda, without joy or blissful, or God bliss itself, that's why we say Ananda. They all mean the same thing. Then why do we say Atman and Brahman? Atman is that reality with reference to us. I am the Atman. Atman means self. Atman literally means self. Atman. And Brahman is the reality of this world. This world which we are experiencing, what is it? It's Brahman, the reality. What are you? Atma. And Atma and Brahman same.
So all sentient beings have Atma.
or all sentient beings are the Atma. It's not like all sentient beings have kidneys and hearts. No. They are the Atma.
One sentient, non-sentient too.
Yeah.
Yes.
All non-sentient beings also have
All is Atma.
Atma. Atma means essence. By the way, we say Atma, not the body, not the mind, but here in Uttarakhand, Atma means body. You know that? I found in our sannyasa house, Atma me shuddhyam tam. So Atma means body. Then Paramatma, consciousness. I remember this about 200 miles kilometers from here. Harshi, it's 199 kilometers from here. One day I set out to beg for food. So there was no place where monks could be fed. You have to actually go and beg from house to house. So I went. One farmer, so they do this terrace cultivation in summer. And in winter they go down, it's all covered in snow. Small village, very poor people. You feel bad for begging from them because they're very generous. If you say sadhu, they will immediately feed. When I came to this farmer's house, the old gentleman, he was sitting on a charpa, on a little bed cot. Mahatma ji, bhook lagi hai. Are you hungry? I said, yes. Khaoge ya leke jaoge? Because I was not telling the begging pot. So I said, fine, I'll eat here. Take a bed. And then he called the lady of the house and said, Khana lagao, Mahatma ji ke liye. So they brought a nice bed, good food, nicely made, very large quantity, and I can't eat so much, it will move. Then he said, Arey Mahatma ji, aap to panchi jaisa khate hain. You are eating like a bird. Pehle Atma, फिर Paramatma. First Atma, take care of body, and then only you get Paramatma. You are eating like a bird. So here Atma means body. In Taittiriya Upanishad, body is called Atma. Prana is called Atma. Mind is called Atma. Intellect is called Atma. The deep sleep state Anandamaya is called Atma. This kosha was introduced by Shankaracharya. Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha. Real Atma is consciousness, but Upanishad says, no, you speak as you feel. You feel that in the body. So body is Atma. Then I will show you why body is not Atma. Like that it goes.
Solipsism. This is a word used, solipsism.
Solipsism.
Oh, could you help that explain?
Solipsism means only I am the knower. Here is the word. And there are other people also. Solipsism is I am the only knower. And you are all in my dreams. You don't exist. So in a dream, for example, it's solipsism. Because when you wake up from the dream, you realize in that dream world there was only one knower, which I was. All the rest were imagined by me. But in the waking world, if I say I am the only knower, the rest are all unconscious or not existing, they are all appearing in my consciousness only, it becomes solipsistic. You alone exist. Now Advaita, and it's said to be a fault in philosophy. Advaita is said to be solipsistic. Actually it is not. Solipsism is when I as a person say I am the only real person here, you are all in my dream. But Advaita is not saying that. Advaita is first deconstructing you as a person and then arrives at pure consciousness. And from pure consciousness, all beings are there. So, are there millions of knowers, billions of knowers? Advaita will say yes. But underlying behind them all, one consciousness. That's what Advaita says. Advaita doesn't say only I am there and nobody else is there. Rather, Advaita says, I am Brahman, you are also Brahman. All of us are Brahman. So this is solipsism, and Advaita is not solipsism. We'll take it to tea outside. Om Shanti.